But hey ho, sometimes you just gotta give something a go. I just rhymed, that was not intentional. Hello tipsters and tricksters, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vintage tips and tricks video. I am really and truly gonna do a short and sweet one today. So I have been doing my makeup in a more 70s style recently, just because I've been really busy and feeling very casual, and it's a very quick and easy look, and it often involves jeans and t-shirts, which takes a lot less effort to devise and put on than a lot of my 40s and 50s stuff. So that's been the main reason, and I can get away with hairstyles like this and not feel like I'm not being authentic. And this little makeup look was one that I chucked on the other day, and I just really liked it because it literally took me 5 minutes. It looked very, very natural. And I tried out a whole new makeup technique, which is freckles or freckling, which I'd never done before, and I honestly never ever thought I would do. But I don't know if you guys can see, I'm just looking in the monitor here, but I got pretty badly burnt in Australia, and I have ended up with some freckles under my eyes and here on my nose and at the bottom, but it's very uneven. So I was trying out the freckling just to try and even it up, and I ended up really liking it. So I'm gonna share it with you guys today. It is very trendy to do the freckle makeup, but I guess this is a vintage take on it. So here we go. So I'm literally just going to brush my eyebrows up and do a very natural brow. I'm basically just following my brow line as it is. And while I'm doing this, I thought I would pose an idea to you guys. And that is, I have Coffee. Coffee is like a website, like a fundraising website, I guess, where you can buy me a coffee to like contribute to the content that I create here on YouTube. But I never promote it because I feel weird about asking people for money about something that I would do anyway, and I know no one would give money if they didn't feel comfortable with it and didn't want to, but I still feel weird promoting the fact that I have the coffee account. And I have been throwing around the idea of Patreon for a while, but last year I just was too sick to offer anything else beyond what I was already doing and struggling to do here on YouTube. Whereas this year, I think I could devote more time to creating content here on YouTube and for Patreon, and also I've just had the energy to think up ideas about what I could do. So I wanted to pose them to you guys and see what you thought. I guess the main thing I want to preface is that I know not everyone can afford to contribute via something like Patreon, and I have no intention of doing less content here on YouTube. In fact, if I was to do some Patreon stuff and was paid to spend some time on those things, it would actually free up my time because I wouldn't be having to get ready and leave the house and go and work for someone else. I'd be able to devote more time in general to my YouTube content and to my music, which means that overall the quality of what I put out will improve. So general YouTube will improve. I'll be able to provide content for Patreon subscribers or Patreon supporters. I regularly get messages from people asking me to give them personalized advice, so about vintage haircuts or why their set isn't working. They want more in-depth information that's really personal to them than what is on my YouTube channel, and I'm always really happy to answer those requests, but I am finding I have less and less time to do it because there are more and more requests, because I'm getting more and more followers, which is wonderful, but the more followers I get, the less individualized time I get. However, if I was making some money from it and I could then not do other work and dedicate the time to that, I could be giving that personal advice. And I know at the moment I'm giving it for free, but realistically I can't really give that time for nothing because I don't make enough money to justify me spending my spare time doing that, because I really don't have any spare time. My spare time is spent making these videos. So I'm just trying to think of a way that I can monetize what I do here on YouTube in a way that's also beneficial to you guys and that offers everyone that follows me more content and better content. So what do you guys think about the personalized videos thing? Things like being able to vote in the Patreon space on what videos come next, suggest video ideas, and then vote on which ones you think should come so you get the content you want. And then things like, I don't know, like a monthly live stream, or I don't know. You guys feel free to suggest what you think, and if you're someone who would consider becoming a Patreon supporter, what kind of things would you like to see in the Patreon? So anyway, back to this makeup look. The next thing I'm going to put on is from my Wet n Wild palette, and it is going to be this color here. I'm going to be swatching that all over my lid, but I'm going to be focusing on the inside section going up toward my eyebrow and then coming down toward my crease here, so that instead of winging out, I'm actually creating like a little arch that the peak of it is near my eyebrow, if that makes sense. So yeah guys, I guess this is your opportunity to have your say about what you would like to see on a Patreon, if you're someone who would like to be a Patreon subscriber, and what other things you would like to see on my channel in general, you know, because if I spend more time on this and I do make some money from Patreon, then I will have more time for the channel in general. So even if you're someone who doesn't think they're going to be able to afford to be a Patreon supporter, I still value your input, so please do tell me what you think and ask for what you want to see on the channel for people who are non-Patreon supporters. Okay, so as you can see, I've focused in here and then coming down toward my crease there, as opposed to how I usually do it, which is coming out like this. And it is quite a like tan orange color, which I feel is very 70s. I'm going so much slower than I would if I was just doing it for myself, because I'm talking a ton. As usual, I say I'm going to do a quick video and then I talk a bunch and it becomes like a 20-30 minute video. I have forgotten to put my foundation on. I'm not really wearing foundation at the moment, but I am dusting my face with a powder, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Alrighty, so the foundation or powder that I'm going to use is this Milk Beauty powder. It is the Blur and Set one. And what color is this in? In medium. Keeping it simple. The brushes that I'm using, in case you guys are wondering, they showed up in last week's video, but they are a professional makeup brush set from Louise Young, who is a makeup artist. I will link them below. Okay, so foundation on, let's get that back in there. Back to what I was doing. All right, so the next part is my crease, which is really simple and easy. I don't really do much for this, but I'm gonna head in there with, again from the Wet n Wild palette, just that one there, just to add a little bit of darkness, and I am putting it on the very corner of my lid, not into the crease area, just the corner of my lid and over that first third of my lid there. Super, super subtle. Could probably not do this, but this is what I did the other day and I liked the outcome, so. Then I'm going to take that same colour and put it under the bottom third of my lower lash line just here. Okay, so that's my eyes so far. Then I'm going to sweep on some blush. I have been focusing up in this area with my blush, so I kind of come into my eye socket a little bit, like under here. I just feel it has been giving me a youthful glow. So as you can see, just focusing it right under my eye there. And I am kind of bringing it down to my cheekbone line, like the underside of my cheekbone. That's what I'm trying to say. So it is quite broad. I'm trying to get kind of a sun-kissed tanned look from this. And it is a sort of like semi-bronzy pink, like a peachy bronzy pink color. It's why it's giving me that kind of glow. And then I'm going in with my Sleek highlighter palette with this bronzer powder here. So the other three are cream, but this is the bronzer powder, and my fan brush, and I'm just dusting some of that golden highlighter along the top of my cheekbone, again to give me that summery glow, even though it's winter here. But I can't get over summer. Having just gone to Australia, I'm now locked into summer mode and wanting to keep my tanned look, because it's gonna fade, guys, and it's making me sad. Okay, so we're actually almost finished. Like I told you, it was a really quick and easy one. I'm going to whack some mascara on and then we're gonna get onto freckles. I use the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and I'm just gonna sweep that on my top and bottom lashes. Not tons, like just a normal everyday amount. The other thing I was thinking of, guys, I don't know if anyone is interested, this might be completely the wrong crowd to ask, but for those of you who don't know, I am a professional musician by trade. I'm a jazz singer, and I, for a good, well, since I was 17, so like, oh my gosh, nearly 15 years now, have also been a singing teacher and voice coach. And I am coming back to singing and performing in London this year. And I was also thinking of offering online singing lessons. I used to offer face-to-face ones, but I actually much prefer to do the voice coaching than standard singing teaching. So I like working with people who already know the basics of singing but want tweaking and want help with things that they're struggling with. So you don't necessarily have to have ongoing lessons. You might send me one video of yourself singing and I help you work on certain aspects of it. Or you might just be like, I need help with my thimble folds, or I need help with my belt. You know, what am I doing wrong? And you send me a video of you singing and I help you with that certain technique, etc. So if any of you are interested in that, do drop me an email or a private message. All that stuff is down in the description below if you want to contact me, and we can chat about some voice coaching if that's of interest to any of you. Just thought I would put that out there. I know some people have messaged and asked me if it's something that I offer, and I wasn't offering it for a long time. It wasn't my focus in the last couple of years, but I'm missing it and I would really like to go back to it. And yeah. Let's go in with these freckles. The way I'm going to create this is with my Sleek palette. And I'm going to go in with this chocolatey brown shade here on the end. And this teeny weeny little brush, as you can see. Very teensy, and I'm literally just going to dot some shadow onto my nose. So I'll try and come in close so you guys can see. And because I don't want them all the same intensity, I'm touching very, very lightly, and I'm using up the powder on the brush before I dip back in and get some more, because obviously freckles aren't all the same intensity. And then I go in and I actually like dust them off a bit so that it fades out, because my natural freckles are a dark brown, but they're kind of like blotchy, if that makes sense. I do need to do more over here. Okay, there we go. So I hope you guys can see that. I haven't put any concealer on today, but whatever. Sometimes I feel like putting it on, but at the moment I haven't felt like it. And I think in some ways the freckles detract from eye bags, maybe. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. And the last thing that I'm gonna put on is some lip gloss. It is the Australia's Girl Boss lip gloss, or Girl Boss lip gloss. And I don't normally do this, but I'm actually going to be erasing my Cupid's bow. So I just go straight across the top so that it gives me a very full round looking lip. I did this the other day and I quite liked it, so that's the reasoning behind that. Okay guys, so that is the finished look. As I say, very, very simple. It really does take 5 minutes if you don't talk endlessly to a camera. And I don't know, I feel like it's very like summery, fresh, youthful. And I quite liked it, so I hope you guys like it too. If you did like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment down below, especially with your thoughts on the Patreon stuff, the makeup look today, and anything else you might like to see on my channel. Follow me on my Instagram, come and join the Vintage Tips and Tricks Facebook community. We would love to have you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!